great. Like, listen to this. I think that's my computer fan being really loud because it feels the need to run the screen at like 500 FPS. Actually, I have changed something since the last time I played Rain World, so that might make a difference. I don't know, it probably won't be noticeable on the stream. Certainly run of all time. I did notice that you're running this. And it reminded me that this is technically the last 30% run that I need to do. Just Hunter, which is that's kind of asking for a lot. I don't even actually, you know what would be a good idea? I should do a run, practice run, just so that I remember the route. Kind of a pain with the doing practice runs for. Oh, I have to close the game. I should have done this before. But for Hunter, it's like even worse than it is normally because you don't have creatures to eat. That's like the main way you get food, and you know the vultures thing. I can't really do that either. So just take a second. I'd send a video at the very end of Filtration. What a wonderful game we're playing. How's the music sound? Is it audible? Oh, end the game. I guess that's a. Yeah, game audio. Maybe even a little loud. That's unfortunate because it's a little quiet for me. I think because of some of the audio settings I changed, the volumes of everything got messed up. Like nothing really got louder for me, but it did for the stream. But it should apply the same for my voice, or it should like even out. I don't know. So I think I remember the route. Go up to Sky Islands, that one shelter, starve, and then go get the Echo. Then go to Chimney, where I would get a mask to go up. Go up the wall, and then... Wait, I'm missing something. I was die. Yes, die to a centipede in the like 5th room. What a good jump. It's like I didn't warm it up at all. Go to Pebble. I guess is there any shelter in between Sky Islands and Pebbles? I don't think so, right? You go to Pebbles and you have the shelter there because of the gate. Then you go down to the... This room sucks, by the way. The wall jumps at the bottom are really weird. Oh, yeah, this room. Do I want to do this? It's really funny when it works. Stop doing that? Yeah, maybe. Welcome to the stream. Did I already say that? But go or sleep in the shelter, then eat the popcorn plant on your way out. Sleep in the higher wall shelter. Go up to get the echo, then go back down to as far as you can get, right? Didn't say welcome. I wasn't even talking to you. Oops, don't do a slide like that. Oh, I should explain. I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch, and there are viewers on both sides. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. I may be talking to other people. If you want, you can open up both platforms, and that was really bad. I haven't learned like any movement. Like all of this is just like I'm just making it up. Okay, you can tell that I made it up because I just took the wrong path, just straight up. Yeah, both sides think I'm crazy for talking to no one. What you do is you do roll pounds, do that, send it slide, jump across this, goes down. Is this the right pipe? Yes. I always get those two mixed up. I think there's a way you can do a roll pounce here that gets you up to that pole, maybe. Maybe if I did like, oh, that could probably work, but is that worth doing? You could have both platforms open and pop up the chat on one of them. You could see both while still talking in whichever chat that you prefer. Or I could add an overlay so you could just see the chat on the screen. And I could probably set it up in a way such that it doesn't show on the recording. So if I'm recording for runs, the chat wouldn't like be in the way. But it would still like benefit the stream experience. Ah, YouTube jump scare. I think you get 2 food pips here, right? Like, what would you eat? A centipede? Yeah, you would eat a centipede. I mean, I would eat a centipede. And for this part of the run, I have not like optimized how much movement you can do, because that's the question you're asking when you're starving. How much movement can you do? Can you get away with doing one more extra jump here, or oh shoot, or like a slide pounce, or you know, whatever. Like if I fast pole climbed up this, I probably would have exhausted myself, and it's like much more punishing compared to Gourmand. Yeah, worse than Gourmand's stamina, because you like pass out for like quite a long time. I can't see, it might be a little bit loud. Keep lowering everything so much. So this part of the run is actually incredibly dangerous. There's just a ton of lizards and vultures. It's mostly lizards that you're worried about. There's slime lizards in this room, and they just like to bully you. I'm not really sure how to deal with them. I can't really show that here. If you jump onto this platform, it's like, well, now I have to deal with the orange lizards, which are like significantly easier to deal with. You just jump over them. how do you do this without like dying? I guess that works. Rolling like up those bumps in the floor. Rolling up like that is inconsistent. You might continue to roll, it might stop suddenly. And then if you jump, then you just fall to your death. Hi, cursor. Get out of here. Nice lag spike. Thank you for that. I think you can do a well-timed slide there. Yeah, if you start the roll on the block, then there's no risk of die. You know what's funny? I came up with a way to do EI hops, or EI jumps if you want to be specific. I came up with a way to do them way easier, and I don't even use it myself. Like someone was asking for help with them, and I was like, oh yeah, here's a technique to make it way easier. And they're like, wow, now I can finally do these EI jumps. And then I didn't do it. I guess the muscle memory was too set in stone. Maybe I should have had the other mod on so I could spawn in a Vulture Mouse. It's really fun to do, but it's risky. Actually, it's not really risky. Like, you either get enough height or you don't. It's distance. You know what? Here. Let's try this. So this might also be a Rivulets thing only, because this is like I figured it out when playing Rivulets. So I don't know if it exactly applies the same way to other characters. So I think the way that it feels natural to do, or the way that it seems like you need to do it, is to throw backwards and then immediately hold forwards. You're basically like holding forwards and then only tapping backwards for just a second, just long enough to throw the item. But you don't need to hold forwards immediately. Like, actually, I'm not going to hold forward at all. And just throw backwards. And still mess it up every time. Hold up. There we go. You can still do it. You don't hold forward at all. So you don't need to like stress the timing on it. And you can actually press backwards way earlier than you need to. But maybe that's the problem. Maybe like Rivulet could get away with doing that. But for other characters, you still need to time it. But I feel like it's way easier if you don't stress like pressing back and then forward and then back. Or forward then back then forward again really quickly. Like you don't need to do it super fast. You press the backward input just a bit early, and then you can hit the forward input way later than you feel like you need to. I guess actually doing an upwards boost there is pretty good because you leave the pipe before you slow down again. Ah, no. Don't have a double jump. How unfortunate. Actually, there's some way to get enough height there. There is something you can do here, yeah. Like, I can never even initiate the whiplash. But, like, on flat ground, not a problem. But on this little platform, it's like... Okay, that was it. Maybe, do I need to be standing, like, even further back? Yeah, I guess so. Oh, do you always need to do 2 jumps there? 2 pounces? Is that... I thought I could just climb up after the first one. What language are you speaking? There we go. Okay. You know, I was watching this video. Oh my gosh. I was watching this video of like a rock climbing tournament. And the format of the competition was actually really interesting. It's kind of like that other tournaments for like a completely different thing. But it's like there's interesting ways to make tournaments that aren't necessarily like 1v1 comparisons. If it's some sort of skill where it's like, okay, if it's some sort of skill where you're trying to prove that you are the best at it, and that skill doesn't necessarily require, it's wrong, do a slide here. It's not necessarily a like competitive skill, right? You're not like fighting against someone or interacting with another person directly. It's a little hop recovery, that's funny. Like, I think Tetris is an interesting example. There obviously are a lot of PvP Tetris games, and there's like systems for it, but I feel like it doesn't really work out. You're taking a single player game and then adding on mechanics that like kind of make it work in multiplayer. But there's like a lot of weird interactions that I'm not like a fan of. Like the game doesn't work perfectly for PvP. And for like other games or skills, it's like, you know, maybe there's like no interaction at all. It's basically completely single player, and all you're doing is just like seeing like how many points you can score. Like maybe there's some sort of scoring system. It's like who is the best at doing this thing, and the better you are at doing it, the more points you get. Anyway, the format of this little competition was basically this is all like rock climbing and stuff. So I'll try to like translate it if you don't know anything about that. But imagine that there were like 100 challenges, just like scattered about, ranks in difficulty. So I'm like kind of forgetting what to do, and I'm trying to like talk at the same time. But they're all ranked by difficulty. So number 100 is the easiest, and then number 1 is the hardest, and they kind of build up a difficulty. And for completing a challenge, you get points based on the difficulty ranking. And your final score depends on your top 10 hardest challenges that you completed within the time limits. So they got like an hour or something. Spread it, or actually, well, it doesn't really matter, but the idea is that there's a bunch of challenges everywhere, and you just do whatever challenges you can, and hopefully the most difficult challenges that you're capable of doing, and then your score is based on the top 10 hardest ones that you completed. So I thought that was a really interesting way to do it, because it kind of means that lower skilled competitors could still do something. So I feel like the problem with some competitive formats is that if you are in a 1v1 match against someone of much higher skill, you're just gonna get destroyed, and it feels like you're not really being able to do much, right? I guess with this idea, it's like, okay, you're still kind of it maybe does kind of still feel like that if it's like, oh wow, my total number of points at the end of this were like not even close to anyone else's. But I guess like during the process of the actual like competition, you still get to do as much as everyone else gets to do. It's just that the difficulty of the challenges that you pick are going to be lower, of course, but it's still going to be challenging to you. It's not like it's like overwhelmingly challenging that you don't have any chance of winning at all. I guess unless you want it to be like that. But I thought it was a really interesting format. I'm just interested in any like competitive format that I think it's in Chinese, or is it Japanese? That's better. I don't know like any of the specifics. But any like competitive format that lets everyone engage with the game or whatever. Chinese is better. Okay. Because I think it sucks in like a tournament bracket kind of formats where, especially if they're like seeded, such that the highest like but like the most skilled players are matched up against the worst skilled players at the very beginning. So I feel like that's kind of weird, right? Isn't it? I think the point is so that the good players don't take each other out in early rounds. Like they kind of all meet up in like the semifinals, finals, whatever. But it's like if you're like one of the worst players, wouldn't you want to fight against the players of like similar skill? Or if you're like way lower skill, you can't even compete at all because you're not at the very top, right? So any format that allows for any level of skill to still experience the full thing. Because if you're the very best in a tournament bracket, you're gonna be doing way more rounds than anyone else, right? Because you don't lose, you don't like get out of the tournament, you just go through the whole thing like game after game after game. If you're like the worst and you like lose on the very first round, then that's it. You don't get to play anymore. And like here. Motivating. Echo music is very nice. I think I'm particularly interested when it comes to Rain World for any potential like Rain World competitions or tournaments or whatever. I feel like it's so hard to set them up in a fair way. If you pick any specific speedrun category, there's just gonna be like one or two people who are just by far the best at that category, and it's like not even close for anyone else. Like, oh, here's the one guy who practiced this one category for like a year. So yeah, they're just the best at it, and everyone already knows that they're best at it, and they win. Wow, what a surprise! And I feel like anything that I guess any other format would just kind of require that it's like all new to everyone. It's like a completely unique. I mean, even then, it's kind of hard. Like, let's say that we just pick some random routes, get from this room to another room, like, go from this shelter to this shelter. So you can do this as fast as some random person is be like, oh yeah, this route. It's like this is the route that you take on like the second half of the Survivor and 100% routes that I practiced for like a few weeks. So I know how to do this route. Arena versus, well, there's actually people who do that, right? Hello, welcome to the stream. Some people, imagine like 2 random people show up and it's like, hey, we like play, we like compete 1v1 arena mode like every weekend. So we're like really good at PvP combat. No one else has practiced it at all except these 2. Or like something that bothered me about one of the previous tournaments, which was the Twitch integration one. Some competitors were live streamers who have been doing like Twitch integration many times, who've like already done it a ton. And if you're not a streamer, or if you don't have a like Twitch partner, so you can't even do Twitch integration at all, you just have no experience with it at all. So you just straight up had an advantage if you were already like a streamer who has played Twitch integration many times before. Or with like, I think there's some bingo event maybe. Some streamers have done bingo events like a few times in preparation. It's like, oh, you're gonna like know what to expect a little bit more. But then again, it kind of sounds like kind of impossible to come up with some sort of competition that everyone has a fair chance at. I guess for like any other game, more people would be focused on a single thing. Like if it's already a fighting game, everyone has already practiced the same thing, so it's like, yeah, there's people at different skill levels, but yeah, any speedrun that goes through Pipe Yard, no one will know anything about it. But like, if it's a fighting game, then everyone is already very familiar with the fighting parts, even if their skill levels are different. It's not like there's going to be some people who have just like never engaged with it at all. It's like completely new to them. Okay, so now I just go down a lot. This is a short cycle. Does the cycle length matter here? Go to shaded. Oh right, the next shelter you take is to get the shaded echo, right? It kind of freaks me out whenever I do it. And let's not die here, like I've done a few times. Tried to climb communications array as 2 gourmands. I still kind of want to see multiplayer speedruns. I don't know if anyone's done that. Just like, how is that different than a normal speedrun? But I guess it's like, maybe it's required that both players get to the pipe. So it's not just like whoever gets to the end of the room fastest. But I guess it's also kind of like, maybe there's whoa. Slow down, man. Maybe there's like tech. I know that you can throw other Slugcats in tunnels, so you can actually move through tunnels quicker because you can like continually throw each other down the tunnel. Oh, is there a way to do this? Oh, that's kind of not a great way to do emote. But also, I feel like, you know, I don't know how great multiplayer is in terms of like input delay or lag or whatever. So like one player would kind of be at a huge disadvantage when it comes to like trying movement tech. I only played co-op like one time, and even then it was like hard to do anything more than like slide pounces and stuff. You just kind of have to get used to like the muscle memory of it without the like immediate visual inputs. So there's a bit of a delay. I love when you're holding down and you just kind of stand there. Being able to get max energy speed is riveted. Well, yeah, and a lot of campaigns just like don't even work at all. Most of the downpour ones with like cutscenes seem to be kind of limited. Good job. And I ate a lizard. Oh, it'd be nice as Spearmaster though. One person could just carry the pearl, everyone else is chill. Useless movement tech in the game? Most useless. So like, not movement that is like impossible to do, because there's movement that is like so difficult that you can't even do it at all. Is that useless? It's like if you could do it, then it would be very useful. Maybe Whiplash is like the most useless tech that is like the most simple too. Because it's like here's a Whiplash. And it's like, you go forward just to go backwards. So it's not like really good for getting distance in a jump or for going fast. Like, oh, I want to go forward, time to like move backwards, you know? I guess it's useful if you want to pick up an item. Like, the most useful use for Whiplashing is like, oh, I want to pick up that item. You know? That you don't need to like, you can turn around a bit faster. But for most movements, you're not really using them. You can pick up more spears with it, sure. Are you? This would be nice to distract the spitter spiders here. The army grows. Maybe I'll drop them off at Moon. Actually, no, they should make it, right? We're very colorful. We're a very colorful group. Oh man, I actually threw it too high. Can I actually reach that? Oh shoot. Oh, okay, hold up, it's fine. It's not fine. We're chilling. I think they're actually weighing me down at this point. Like, you can have one in your bag without affecting your physics. There's like a slide pass chain that you can do. Where the slug pups come from, I actually don't know. They were just here. I just found them. Oh, shoot, it's about to rain. We're close to a shelter. What actually happens if you run into one during your speedrun? I imagine that you just kind of leave them behind. They don't actually help you at all. Easy food. Yeah, you'd probably rather hold the spear on your back. Oh yeah, they're gonna starve. Yeah, I can't feed them. Maybe Moon will feed them. Oh shoot, actually getting in the way. Yeah, I think they start in shelters and then they just kind of wander. Right there, it's not like I think stopping them from just leaving. Five food at Moon. Oh, that's actually not enough though. Need to eat some jellyfish. Maybe the scavengers will take them. I'll have another story. New slug cat, new playable character, raised by the scavengers in Moon. Yeah, they're starving. Well, get used to it. Wait, so can they just die if you don't feed them? Like, what if I were to try to... What if I got food and I went to a shelter? Oh, shoot. Oh my gosh, she's actually weighing me down. I'm gonna leave you behind, dude. One on my back is just chilling. This guy's freaking out. Okay, actually, like, for the sake of practicing movement, I can't have them with me. It's making things more difficult. Become scavengers. This would have been a better place for them, huh? Off the fruit. No shaded bridge incident. I've never done that before. Someone should make a mod so that the echoes have AI generated dialogue. Or maybe the iterators too. you could either like make it just like kind of make them just say nonsensical stuff, or you could like give the AI like information about the game states, so they can maybe try to come up with natural responses. Say like, it's been this many cycles, you have visited them this many times so far, you are holding these items, you know, you have these like passages, so maybe they've been observing you and they've seen like, oh, these are the things that you've done. Devils will meet you and be like, oh hey, my overseers saw that you were like fighting a lot of scavengers. Text randomizers? I mean, that's the thing. I'm saying like some way to give the characters like an actual like in-character response that is informed by the world, but that wouldn't require like 1,000 lines of unique dialogue. I use the arrow keys for movement, but I also use WAS for like other key inputs, like throwing and faster rolls. That's usually how I play keyboard games that don't use the mouse. Just using WAS and arrow keys. Usually like arrow keys for movement and then WAS for like miscellaneous like inputs. But I can actually use both, which is actually funny. You have like muscle memory with like keyboard inputs. I don't know why I tried to do that, because I know that I'm not supposed to. Do throw boost there. Double throw boost. This is a short cycle, so I actually need to shelter. Or if I had to use arrow keys. So if you only use one hand for movements in a game, like you only use your right hand on the arrow keys, then your other hand won't be able to like easily use the other arrow keys for movement, or the other like WSD, you know. But since I use both so often, I've gotten used to it in both ways. The second arrow key injury, is that uncommon? I guess it really doesn't matter. Like, you can literally randomize your keyboard layouts, your controls. Just set them to a bunch of random keys, okay? And as long as they're like close together and your hands can like comfortably reach all the keys, you can get used to it. You can do that with literally anything, by the way. I mean, the keyboard layout is already like completely arbitrary that we just got used to, right? Might be faster just to swim from underneath there. And people do like use alternate keyboard layouts, and they just get used to them and can type quite quickly. Poor catfish. Alright, you're coming with me now. And they left. This would be a pretty big time loss. Ideally, you would already have enough food and then just pick up the jetfish and just leave really quickly. Actually, you know what? I'll share this. For games with top-down movement, I have an alternate control layout. So if, let's say I'm using WASD for movement, I switch W and D, and I switch A and S. I switch those keys around. So to move forward, I'll press D on the keyboard. So if I'm ever playing a top-down game, that's the control scheme that I'm going to be using. Oh, it's already getting darker. Look at that. Really short cycle. There's a shelter on the routes. I guess it doesn't really matter which shelter you take, huh? You can either take the one in subterranean or the one right here. The one in subterranean is a little bit closer to the routes, so you don't need to go out of your way as much. Oh, I don't like prefer it. Like, it's not like, oh man, this double ASD layout, I hate it so much. Oh, it still showed the pips of the slug pups. They're dead now, by the way. It's not like, oh, this is so uncomfortable, I want to switch these keys around. No, it's actually a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. If you want to like press certain other keys at the same time, it can be more difficult. I mostly just did it as a challenge to prove my own point of the fact that you can get used to any control scheme. I was like, this is something that I believe in, so I'm going to prove it myself and change my keyboard layout around and see if I can get used to it, and now I've got used to it. So Mini Shoot Adventures, that game that I played a while ago, my control scheme was changed. I don't know if I ever showed it on stream, but I just was using that keyboard layout the whole time. And I don't do it for top-down games, because you don't use like up and down as often. Like I'm using it right now for okay, really? That would actually really be nice to get a jetfish early in this room. But like for side scroller games, it's like less intuitive because you're not pressing up and down as often. So you would get used to switching the left and right inputs, but then if you wanted to move like up and down, you wouldn't be as used to that. You know, it probably would have been better just to keep swimming instead of going up. Whatever. I also kind of was wondering, maybe this could be a thing I do for some stream, where I literally just randomize my control scheme for Rain World and I try to like beat the game. Simulation of being a new player. kind of actually. It would kind of be like that, without any like muscle memory for movement tech. I think Hunter is weaker than all the other slug cats. I completely disagree. I think Hunter is one of the strongest. Right behind Artificer. That's my ranking. You should say Spearmaster's the weakest. No, you rolled there. Like that's crazy height for some reason. Ideally, this might actually be a better way to shelter. If it was like the right cycle length, it could be raining by the time I make it to filtration. By the way, I probably would be dead here, so like help. You really want to keep moving. I think Swarber is the weakest because Monk has the power of friendship. Maybe actually. It's like you're not as good at fighting, but also enemies are still aggressive to you. I think it's an argument for saying Gourmand is weaker though. And I know that people love Gourmand. I mean, actually, they don't really. If people really liked Gourmand, they would do more speedruns. But they have a lot of strengths, but they can be really annoying in some situations. All right, see ya. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, holding the jetfish for whatever reason messes with your physics, and you jump way faster. That's why we want to bring him here because you can run through subterranean really quickly. The problem is that this area is incredibly dangerous. There's a ton of creatures that want to kill you. So if you're holding the jetfish, you can't hold anything else to defend yourself with. So it's a big risk. I think Saint is. I mean, it depends on what you mean by strength. If you mean combat effectiveness only, then obviously Saint kind of sucks. But it's just like they're capable of avoiding conflict so much better than every other character. Same with Rivulet. Like Rivulet is basically Survivor in terms of just combat, but you have the benefit of outmaneuvering every creature if you want to, right? What you can do is you can do like backflips, backflip to down spear a creature. You can do that really easily. I don't think you move quicker in tunnels. But yeah, holding creatures can lead to some weird physics. I like how filtration looks different for Hunter because it's like slightly more functional. There's more lights. Yeah, another funny thing about Rivulet, a lot of people don't even fight anything at all as Riv. Because you've got to move fast, you're trying to get food, you're trying to the next shelter. Fighting creatures is like the last thing that you want to do. And you can move so fast that you don't even want to. It's like, oh, why fight creatures when I can just outrun them? So yeah, a lot of times people will complete the entire Rivulet campaign without killing anything. Maybe like a handful of lizards here and there. Like spiders, things that are easy to kill in one spear throw. That was close. I think I was holding... Yeah, the speaker was on my back, so I couldn't throw it. Actually, I want to see if is this maybe slightly easier as Hunter. There's like a backflip that you can do here that is like really... Yeah, let's see like start the chain of slides and stuff, or rolls. I think it's kind of nice that Survivor is the weakest, and also I think it's a little bit representative of problems with the downpour. No, I always bring this up, but you're not supposed to fight things in this game. You're supposed to be a tiny, weak animal that is like trying to hide and survive from predators, right? And so Survivor being so weak is like a representation of that. It's like, oh, you're trying to fight stuff? Well, you're probably gonna die or, you know, put yourself in bad situations. That guy good? So like, how about you don't fight? How about you just run away and hide and become immersed in this crazy world as prey? I've seen some people do a strategy where they grab this pole here to avoid fall damage. I feel like I might try to learn that. A unique way of, or clever way of making Survivor unique? I don't think that's the point though. Because Survivor is the game. Survivor is Rainworld. Every other character is unique because they're not Survivor. It's the other way around. No, oh, wall pounces. I thought that was a pull I could grab onto. This is by the way, you know what? Let's do a little showcase of some tech. Here's a tech that you can only do in this area. I don't know what it's called. I think it's like an instant pounce or something like that. But if I imagine doing a slide inputs, but pressing jump immediately afterwards, and it lets you do this like jump as if you were to do like a roll pounce. Like imagine doing a roll and doing a jump. That's a roll pounce. Imagine you can do that, but like instantly without the roll. Kind of what this is doing. And since time is slower down in the depths, you can just do it just by pressing jump twice in a row very quickly. But it's like a single frame timing. Normally, it's only possible with the slower time. I think that maybe if you had the right like kind of key, if you had 2 keys set to jump, you could press those 2 keys very quickly one after another, and you could do it. If your spacebar or whatever other button you use to jump, if it worked in a way such that you could press it with 2 fingers really quickly. But it's difficult for my keyboard because I would need to like fully release the key again to press it again, and that just takes too long. Goodness. I'm kind of hoping that for the Watcher, they focus a little bit less on making the characters super unique and just focus on the fact that they're in a completely unique environment. Maybe like one little ability, like here and there. But like, not like Artificer where it's like you have like a bunch of crazy overpowered abilities, or like Gourmand, you know? Like, I like when it's more simple. Like, Saint has a tongue, and that's it, you know? Like, they have some downsides and like some weird stuff with the karma and like their ability, of course. Like, that's also crazy. But just initially, Saint is basically just Survivor, but they have a tongue. Or Artificer is just Survivor, but they're faster, you know? Like, just one ability that is like very strong like that, I think that's enough, you know? Gourmand, it's like, you can craft items and you can like create random items from your stomach, and you can like slam into things, and you can, you know, so many abilities that like don't completely fit together. I think for what was I saying? For the Watcher, it might just be, or I think the theory is that they have some sort of stealth mechanic, which I think would be nice. Make them Survivor, give them Survivor stats, maybe Monk stats, honestly. Actually, probably just Survivor. But they can like camouflage in with the background to potentially avoid some creatures. That's all you need to make a character unique. And they might be in a completely new environment with like tons of new regions and creatures and stuff. So that's like totally enough to make the DLC feel unique without needing to make the character crazy. Anyway. Let's do some runs. Yeah, I guess like Gourmand definitely has a theme going on, but in terms of like gameplay, a lot of people tend to forget their abilities, right? When I see people play Gourmand, it's like here you can craft items, and here you can spit up random items, and here you can use your weights to damage enemies. Usually they forget most of those. Maybe they remember crafting and they craft a whole bunch of items, but they forget like another thing, you know, they always forget some part of the character. I feel like if you're playing the game just to play through all the campaigns and then stop, you know, you're going to be missing out on a lot of depth with the characters. So it's nicer when it's like Saint, when it's like, oh, you use the tongue, and then you're using the tongue for the entire playthrough, and you're not missing out on anything. You know, that is the whole character. But the tongue on its own has a lot of depth to the movement, you know, like building momentum and keeping it and like traversing through different environments. Singularity bombs, why can he make that? That's a great question. That doesn't make any sense at all. Is this working? Looks like it's working. That could potentially be a problem. I'm gonna make the stream look worse. That might be noticeable, but hopefully it makes the makes it less laggy. Okay, I did drop a few frames there. Anyway. And I also feel like the more they add new abilities to a character, the more they feel like they need to balance them out with some sort of downside. I think that can usually make them feel more annoying to play. Like, literally every downpour character has some sort of huge downside that can make them, like, completely unappealing to some players. Like, they gave Gourmand all those different abilities, and like, wait, this character might be too strong now, let's give them stamina mechanic. And now they're no longer fun to play, for some people. You have, like, a faster playstyle. And Rivulet actually does have a downside. It's the cycle length. They have short cycles, but I actually kind of like that one. It's like the one downside that I actually like about a downpour character, because it synergizes with their speed. You know, you move quickly, and you can move underwater, but the cycles are short. But luckily, you're fast. You're fast enough to mitigate that to some extent. You know, it encourages you to play in a specific way, which is to rush quickly between the shelters, getting food. You know, that there's like, it's like they had a specific playstyle in mind for the character, and they designed the campaign around it. And shelter failures actually help Rivulet, because they give you more time in a cycle. In some areas that are underwater, which they can deal with. Yeah, I'm not a fan of scavenger combat. Before Downpour released, my perception of Artificer is that they would be a really good hunter of large creatures. So your mirror spurs, your vultures, your large centipedes, your red lizards, green lizards, those kind of creatures, Artificer would be great at taking out because you have a lot of explosive spears, right? So I thought, oh, this character would be like really fun to do a score run with, because you could go like hunt vultures, you could hunt mirror spurs, which by the way, never do that. It never works out. No matter how strong you are, you can't just go and casually hunt mirror birds. Did I say mirror vultures? Mirror spurs, the like the reasonable ones. But they make you fight scavengers instead, which are like designed for you to not fight against. I feel like the whole reason scavengers exist is to teach you the reputation system, and that some creatures aren't worth fighting, and that you should try to befriend them instead. Oops. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the reason for the Scavenger's inclusion in the base game. Like, when you go through garbage waste, the game literally tells you, hey, you should befriend these guys, give them a pearl. You know? And you learn, oh, I don't need to, not every creature is an enemy. You know, we can befriend them, we can work together, we can help each other. It's not like every other creature just wants to kill me. But then Artificer is like, yeah, they're just another creature that wants to kill you. But for base game, it's actually balanced out because, that's close. Really? Are you gonna do this? Okay. You have a new friend. For base game, it's like, oh, if you try to fight the scavengers, if you don't want to be friends with them, you actually get punished for it. Because they will hunt you down and make your life miserable. I don't think this guy is dangerous at all. I think the problem still, regardless of how strong you are and capable you might be at fighting, you're still gonna die in one hit. to a spear to thrown from a scavenger off screen that you couldn't react to. Right. It's still a very volatile playstyle because you could, at any moment, just die. And, especially when fighting against big groups of scavengers, like, it's very hard to deal with reasonably. Because, like, yeah, you can, like, double jump to try to avoid them, you can, use a grenade that can help deal with a lot of them at once. But still, just one spear, one singular spear. Same with a boss fight at the end of the campaign. It's like, just like, it's so easy to just die instantly without any warning at all. Yeah, maybe it's just a skill issue. Sorry. I'm the one who has a problem. Wait, are they dead? I'm gonna try holding on to this. Maybe they put this here so that you could scare away the losers on the next room. No! Okay, first of all, he wasn't scared. That other orange lizard didn't run away. And I also dropped the Ultra Crow. I think another problem is that, they sometimes work. Always bothers me a bit with those pulls that end off screen. So as you're climbing them, you can't quite tell when when you have to jump off. Dude, that was smooth. Why did you wall pounce here? See, that was actually pretty good. So yeah, I think that's the problem with artificers, that scavengers are the main creature that you're fighting, and they remain that throughout the entire campaign. You're only fighting scavengers the entire time. You fight through scavengers to get up the pebbles. After pebbles, you're in Metropolis, and you're fighting more scavengers. What a surprise! And you finally get past all those scavengers, and what's your reward? A fight with another scavenger. This time he's a little bit stronger, you know. Like, there's so many creatures in the game that are more interesting to fight against. Well, obviously, like, some people really like scavenger combat, but at least, like, a little bit of variety is nice. And unfortunately, like every other creature is like, it's just way too easy to deal with. But then in that case, they could just made Artificer just a little bit less crazy. Not for this drop word. I don't see them. There they are. They might actually chase me down for a bit. And also for the goal of the campaign, I feel like it's a little bit too linear. You start in Garbage Wastes, and you can either go through Shaded, or go through Industrial. Like, I have to go to the other side of. Why am I going up here? If you go up to Pebbles, the campaign ends very quickly. Let's just say that. If you go anywhere else, you're just wasting your time. Oh, sorry, dude. Oh yeah, Artificer can make lanterns. Isn't that a weird ability? Wouldn't it make more sense if you could make lanterns into explosives? Because that's what Artie always does. Also dropped a few more frames, sorry if it was lagging a bit. Oh, I really smoothly fell into the wrong pipe. Okay, I'm very cautious about what I do here. If I just jump a few more times than I'm allowed to, then I pass out and I lose a ton of time. Deja vu. Yeah, just use rocks instead. Maybe I'll throw it this direction. It's mostly the slime lizards that are a problem. Are you just gonna camp me out there? Oh, they're still so easy to deal with. Alright, wall pounds don't let me down. Oh, nice. That was a shorter variant and it still worked. That's good to know. It's really annoying when like only one variant of the wall pounce works. So it's like a 50-50 chance that it works out. If you lose, then you just have to retry it essentially several times. That movement could have been a lot better. Hello, welcome to the stream. Whoa, big boost out of the pipe. Oh, nice little platform. Thank you, loser. I could just use the pole instead, but, you know. Thank you anyway. Alright, remember I need to get a vulture mask, kill the vulture, or no, spawn a vulture, kill the vulture, eat him, grab the mask. Try to do it quickly. I need some spears too. It'd probably be best in the previous room to stock up some spears. So if they find spears in this room. Oh, goodbye. I don't have any extra spears. Okay, there's another spear up here and this vulture. Okay, that was decently fast. That was like... That was fine. This is also a similar color to Hunter. Hunter colored mask. I'm not risking anything there. I don't have any items to throw boost with. Hey, dude. How's it going? I can actually... if I knew I would have encountered a vulture there, Explosive Spear probably would have been a faster option. Just blow them up. His mango. Anyway, we got a mask. King Vulture mask, too. It actually kind of doesn't look like a mask. The little triangle on the top kind of blends in. It's actually a little bit of a trade-off because King Vultures have more health. So it takes a little bit longer to actually kill the vulture. For the wall, it is incredibly useful. When a lizard sees a vulture mask, they're scared for a certain amount of time, and it depends on the type of mask. So if it's a regular mask, it's like 17 seconds. If it's a King Vulture mask, then it's like 30 seconds. So you almost get twice so much time with a King Vulture mask. And that's crucial on the wall where you encounter Cyan Lizards, because what they like to do is when they see the mask, they get scared and run away, but they go up. They climb up, and you're also climbing up, so you climb up and you'll see them later, and maybe like by the time you see them again, more than 17 seconds have passed, so they now want to eat you because they're no longer scared. King Vulture Mask just gives you enough time to potentially outrun the Cyan, or just like wait for them to like take a different path. Most of the time, it's easy to get up here with a King Vulture Mask. It's not guaranteed that you make it up with a normal mask, though. Actually, searching for one is not worth it. Most of the time it's not, no. But for this run, you can very easily get it with the Echo. Since the Echo is active in that room, it pacifies the vultures, so they're super easy to kill. And you can bring the, oh shoot, I don't have anything here. Rock? Okay. You can do some tech there, like a crawl turn bolt, but I'm so bad at those. Surprise. What was that trick? That was a wall pounce? That's what you're talking about. You're basically just bouncing off of the wall very fast, and you use a rock to give you enough speed. That was another white lizard, I believe. But this is like the easy part of the run. While I have a vulture mask, most lizards are not dangerous at all. So the number of dangerous creatures goes down a lot, from like everything down to like, what do we have left? Like vultures, although they can be slow and you can react to them in time. Scavengers, but they're kind of rare and not always immediately aggressive. Dropwigs are actually quite dangerous. Watch out for those. And like centipedes, which we don't really see until later. Just like removing all lizards from your like threat list makes a huge difference. could have done that way better if I was a little bit more prepared. Hello. No, in order to do a wall pounce, there's a few requirements. One, you have to be moving fast enough. Two, you need to be, you can't be standing up. If you're in the, like, just upright state, you can't do a wall pounce. You have to be crouching or basically just press down. If you press jump, or if you press down, you'll enter the, like, the crouching state. Same if you, like, do a pounce, you know. So, and then you just need to press jump, right? So, like, the normal way to do a wall pounce into a wall and jump, right? But you can meet all the same requirements just by standing next to a wall. Press throw down towards the wall and jump at the same time. And that's a wall pounce too. Wall pounce tutorial. Should I make a video? All the different ways that you can use wall pounces. I probably won't do it. Sorry. I'm very bad at being productive. But I'll try to explain whenever I can, if it's applicable in like a speedrun that I'm doing. And if you really want to learn, just watch runs that use wall pounces, like Rivulet. Rivulet Story Percent has a ton of wall pounces. Maybe just watch the input display to see what inputs they're doing to try to replicate them. It didn't change language. I always remember, like, right when I enter the room. This dialogue would be a lot faster if I set the language to Chinese or, like, Japanese. So it's kind of just like a flat time loss for no reason. You can even do a wall pounce like that. The like boost that you get from turning around, it gives you enough speed, and you just need to press down before you touch the wall so they won't be standing up. How's the run going so far? It would be going great if Pebbles was Chinese. I don't know how much time it saves, maybe like 15 seconds. Dialogue is a lot faster in other languages. But it depends. I think like German is like really slow for some reason. Some languages is like much slower than English. Yeah, this is a practice run, all right? Just a warm up. Pebbles will try to pull you to the center of the room. So you basically want to stand on the opposite side of the pipe that you want to go through. You should take damage from that impact. You're moving quite fast. I don't know how much I need to eat there. Maybe it'd be better if I didn't eat any more than I needed to. So just six pips. And then next cycle, I guess, I think that would work if I got lucky with the last cycle length and it was long enough for me to make it to the very end without needing to take an extra shelter. Because the next shelter that I want to take, well, it's on the wall, but after that, it's gonna be, I want to go to Shaded, and then from Shaded, I go to Moon, and then down to Subterranean. And if you get a really long cycle, then you can do that entire trip in one cycle. Oh my gosh, I'm throwing. And you don't need to, like, if you do it in one cycle, you don't need to spend time to get food. You don't need to, like, spend the time to, like, sleep in the shelter. This song is called Wired, and it's not in the game. For whatever reason, it's, like, the one song that is, like, not even included in the game at all. I think it might play in arena mode, actually. Yeah, I think it plays in sandbox. Just, like, randomly. Otherwise, it's, like, nowhere else. It's just like a song that would play in, like, Drainage System for some reason. I guess it's, like, maybe a little bit too energetic to fit in anywhere. But there's, like, Kaiva, you know, there's songs like that. Use the new Rainbow players. Hello, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm a speedrunner. Well, I don't really like calling myself a speedrunner, but I guess I kind of am by definition. I do speedrun this game. Oh, you could probably hear that one. Sorry about that. I just saw that like audio bar on OBS that it like went up all of a sudden. Like the noise gate is very good at getting rid of keyboard noises, but like not much else. I was like a very convenient lizard to eat. I don't need to worry about food at all. That could have been really dangerous if I dropped the Vulture Mask. You can't really master it. Well, I don't think anyone's mastered it, if you want to use a very serious definition. What is that like thing people say? 10,000 hours? 10,000 hours of deliberate practice, which I don't think anyone has. Maybe someone's played 10,000 hours of Rain Worlds, but not like speedrun practice, because out of the speedrunners I don't know if anyone has that kind of play time. But yeah, you can be Artificer in one cycle. It's an interesting little challenge. I haven't attempted it myself, but I have speedran Artificer, and it uses a route that is almost in one cycle. It beats the campaign in 2 cycles, and you only take a shelter to go through a gate twice, because you normally can't do that in one cycle. If that was the case, then that would also be a 0 cycle run. I guess it's cycle 0 because it's like on the starting cycle, right? Play it safe here. Get out of the way. Thank you. Oh boy. Thank you. I love when they kill another creature so that they're not focused on you. The movement tech, you can just watch runs. I'm very bad at making videos. I'm actually very bad at anything that requires any amount of motivation. Sorry. I like earlier, like maybe like a year ago, I would always be like, I want to make a video like this and like a video like this, and like I had so many ideas, but I never had the motivation to actually go and make the videos, so I kind of stopped making promises. I think if you want to learn movement, you can get a lot out of just watching other runs, seeing what other people do. Excuse me, that's quite rude. That could have been better. I'm actually making a lot of mistakes. Why didn't I take the Chimney Echo? Well, I haven't made this route. I'm basically copying the routes of the current world record of the Hunter Story % run, which is like an incredibly... It's a crazy run. It's like one of the most skillful speedruns on the whole leaderboards, but it's just never really worth it, I don't think. Like, out of all the other echoes that you can take, it's like kind of weirdly out of the way. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's just not worth going through. Because the first time you enter that area, you want to use the chimney to easily get a vulture mask, which is like absolutely worth getting. And then later, it's like you're just passing by that area. You don't want to like go out of your way to get food, get a shelter. Excuse me. Don't be scared of these spiders. They are horrible at killing things. You won't understand until you like try to die to a spider. Like it's a challenge actually. Try to die to one of those small spiders, or a green spider too, without like killing them down to the coil XP, of course. That's pretty easy. You suck. I might die here. I think I got hit twice. Yeah, GG. If I had a spear, I could have killed them. Yeah, for like most actions, if you can do it in a gate or a shelter, it will save time because you can't be moving anyway. You might as well like, if you have to do if you have to stand still to do something, you might as well wait until you're forced to stand still anyway, right? But sometimes like holding the items in your hand makes you slower because you can't like throw boost with anything. Like right now, I can't throw boost anyway because I'm mostly moving upwards. Throw boosting is mostly horizontal movement. I might... Okay, I'm expecting to see a centipede in the next room. I hate the wall jump in this room. Yep, there is a centipede in this room. Oh, it's a small one. Why do I keep the on? It is required. Oh, you know what? None of you reminded me. Chinese. The funny thing is that that wall jump isn't even the fastest way to go through that room. There is a frame perfect trick that lets you climb that room faster. But if you mess it up a single time, it's slower, so not usually worth going for. You want to hit the right balance of speed and difficulty such that, you know... Yeah, maybe it does save a lot of time, but if it's frame perfect, probably not going to be able to do it. Yeah, movement in this game is crazy. Although that trick that I just did, that's frame perfect too. So the difference is that if you're one frame too slow, you still get a decent amount of speed, you know? It's not an all or nothing thing. Oh, sorry about that. You have like a 3-frame window to like get a decent amount of speed, and past that it's like not great. It's also the kind of frame perfect that's much easier where the input is relative to another input. If you want to throw the item and then jump 1 frame after, or maybe 2 frames. I think it's actually 2 frames after to throw input. I think I'm dead. Yeah, the centipede can be a huge pain. Like, it's actually really easy to hit 2 keys at the same frame, or 2 keys with 1 frame delay in between them. That's like not too hard. You get somewhat consistent at that. That other trick, oops. You know what? Let's just restart right away. The other trick to climb with, actually, you know what? Can I showcase this right now? Is there a good place for this? I don't think there will be in this room. Okay, actually there is. I can do it right here. So if you're on a wall like this, where it's like it's a single block. We have like a single block right here and then a flat wall next to it. What you can do is you can do a backflip. And then some keys at the same time. It's actually hard to get the backflip. I think if I just walk, yeah, it works. There we go. So you see how I kind of started sliding up the wall? You will continue to accelerate as you slide. So if it's a really tall room with like a flat wall all the way across it, you just keep sliding and sliding and sliding and keep building up speed. But the keys that you need to press to initiate that, it's a frame perfect. In like a really weird way, like you need to wait like exactly 15 frames or something like that. Can I not do that? Is that surprising? Can I, is there a good arena? Nope, that's the remix menu. I don't know this language. Here we go. Would I even have the arena unlocked? I don't think any of these maps would let me do it. Anyway, let's actually try to start a run. I don't want to be messing around all the time. There we go. Whoa, big jump. That's usually really hard to get. You are huge. Oh my gosh. Yeah, go backwards, why don't you? That is what happens when you get the order of the button inputs wrong. And you jump before you press throw. Least favorite region to go through? Probably this one. Farm race is kind of split into like two halves, like the right side and the left side. The left side has more wormgrass and deer, and I don't like that side. Reindeer are just a huge pain to like try to get them to work. They don't like to cooperate with you. The right side of the region is all right. I don't mind it. That's the wrong hand. Excuse me. Pretty slow start. Unlike other Hunter speedrunners, I have not practiced that room like 1,000 times. Hunter is actually it's definitely my least speedrun character out of all of them. Actually, if you want to pretend that Ind exists, then that would be the one, but out of the main characters, Hunter is the one I've played the least for speedruns. And since pretty much every Hunter speedrun goes through that room, you practice it a lot. You have a lot of opportunities to improve, but I've not really gotten to that point yet. Oh really? More centipedes? Didn't even give me a chance, man. Yeah, I think I have played Gourmand more. For story percent, for any percent. Although, yeah, that one's probably the next lowest. But I did seriously attempt to get some good times for Gourmand for like quite a while, like a few weeks actually. That was close. See, and sometimes you get these tiny little centipedes. By the way, centipedes, they have random size variation. So sometimes you just, like every other creature is like predefined what it's gonna show up. It's like there's always gonna be a pink lizard in that room. I'm always gonna see noodle flies around this area. But centipedes, I mean, I'm always going to see a centipede, but what size the centipede is, that is just random. So sometimes you just get unlucky and you encounter the massive ones that just kill you. And there's nothing you can do about it. Like this guy. Okay, thank you. Unfortunate. That's a wall pass that I don't want to do. A lot of people don't like using wall pounces because they can slow you down if you accidentally do them when you don't want to. Oh yeah, Spearmaster is probably the hardest character to speedrun. Like, it's not even close, actually. That was pretty bad. I like had turn storage already, so I couldn't get a backflip. That was close. Maybe I should do something else there, like a throw boost. Alright, actually made it to the shelter. Oh yeah, for red centipedes, it's just that's a unique creature. I think the way it works for centipedes is that they're split into size categories. Like there's baby centipedes, there's like young centipedes, and then there's like adult centipedes. So if it's an adult, it can be a huge range of sizes, and then the size is ultimately what determines how dangerous it is. But if it's a red centipede, it's just a red centipede. They're always the same. Oh yeah, most Rain World streams are definitely new players. I guess that's the appeal, right? It's the kind of game that's really interesting to play if you don't know anything about it. So most content for the game is like first time playing, blind experience, you know. There's actually very little content of the game at a high level. Like maybe there's a handful of speedrunners that live stream their attempts. But even then, it's actually kind of rare. There's a lot of speedrunners who just don't stream at all. Or if they're like familiar with the game on like a lore level or like on a technical level, not necessarily like game experience. Don't stab me, please. Also, the game is lagging a lot right now. I'm not a fan of that. Guess I should have gone down here sooner, but really hoping that they would just leave that tunnel, maybe. That was maybe the most ridiculous thing Elizabeth has ever done. That still failed. Another wall pounce usage. That was smooth. I probably could have picked up that lizard, or that egg bug. They might have the same effect on your physics where you can move faster. Whoops. No, I don't want a vulture right now. Can't even spawn in this room, I guess. Alright. This is kind of slow pace. I want to find another spear. Oh, there's one right here. Oh, King Vulture. I'll grab this other spear. Don't mind the flips. I don't want to push them off. That would be bad. No, don't do that. Okay. That kind of took a while, but we're good. Craziest Rain World playthrough? Yeah, guys, this is my first time playing Hunter. I don't know what I'm doing, but it seems to be working out. Oops. Hate when that happens. Okay, I'm making a lot of like dumb movement mistakes. Please get out of the way. By the way, if a drop wig isn't on a ceiling, they're not dangerous. I mean, obviously when they drop from the ceiling and are now chasing you, that they are dangerous, of course. But if they're just hanging out, don't worry about them at all. Same with the flying centipedes. They are not dangerous at all unless you stick around for a long time. I pick up that spear. Yep, this is the intro cutscene music. In order to demask a vulture, you need to deal over 1 damage, I believe. So if you're a survivor, I think the damage fluctuates enough so that if you get unlucky, you don't deal enough damage to demask them. If you're playing Monk, you never deal enough damage to demask them. If you're playing Hunter or one of those characters, it's very likely. I think you're always going to do more than 1 damage. But also, whether you demask them or not depends on the hitbox. You just want to hit the specific like hitbox like on the head directly, but not the mask. You can get consistent at it. It is a skill that you can learn. For Artificer, the Artificer speedrun, I always got a mask at the beginning of the run, which means I got a lot of practice demasking vultures, and eventually got to the point where I could actually somewhat consistently demask them. Yeah. Yeah, I think like hitting the side of the head is usually a good strategy. Like the way that I try to set it up is so that if you're standing somewhere and the vulture drops down directly from above, you want to jump to the side and then throw a spear sideways. If I can, if this like cursor can make that clear. Vulture approaches from below or from above, and you jump to the side and throw at them. If the vulture is like to the side of you and you throw the spear at them, they're probably just gonna block it. And if you try to throw it directly upwards, then it doesn't work either. You also deal less damage. So yeah, hit like the side of their head. But also, if they are more bunched up, the wings might get in the way, their body might get in the way, you might hit the neck instead of the head. It's quite hard to get precise. You know what? Hold up. I need to fix... I don't think I have this setting changed. No. There's some like witchcraft I need to do in the task manager to like make the game not lag. These little ladder things, they're such a pain to climb. It's really easy to get stuck. Trying to go through that small opening. Okay, large centipede, perhaps? No? Let's see if I can do the funny tech in this room. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I can't really fast forward climb because you might grab the horizontal ones. Big fan of this song. That sucks. Supposed to do a slide there. Oh, hi Scavenger. Little bomb of them. Scavenger jump scare. I hate that little area. You can't wall jump correctly because of the little hole in the side of the wall. Grab the pole and then climb up there. Oh, that's an explosive spear. Is there ever a place I could use an explosive spear that would actually save time? I mean, it's not just Hunter. Any Slugcat can do that. Probably just gonna leave it behind. I mean, I don't know if I would encourage this using the speedrun routes for a casual playthrough, unless you're specifically trying to do a speedrun too. I guess you can do this. Shoot, picked up all the wrong items. You don't even need to go to Moon or Pebbles. Actually, I'd recommend going to Pebbles because at least you can get a few extra cycles by doing that. Damn, that guy jumped. If your goal is to if your goal is just to beat the campaign, just worry about getting echoes, maybe visit Pebbles. Shoot. I'm stuck here. Okay, you can make that jump. It's just like a lot more difficult without a throw boost. Like, focus on getting echoes. Maybe see Pebbles for the extra time and then just go straight to the depths. And then once you're comfortable with that and navigating the world a bit better, you can try to go for Moon as well. I should have been holding an item there, and I should have been paying attention. I've gotten lucky, by the way. That white lizard is quite common in that spot right there. Yeah, and I think part of the fun of Hunter is that you can come up with whatever route you want. Just find some way to get all the echoes. Maybe just explore randomly. Although, you know, the time limit is a little bit annoying. You can't just do whatever you want. You kind of need to be moving constantly. I don't know why. I feel like it's not a good start. Hunter expansion. Is that the mod that... Actually, I don't know what that mod does, but I don't like it. Sorry. I'm not a huge fan of mods that try to add on to the story of the game. So I'm a little bit picky about like lore accuracy and consistency. A lot of mods just like do whatever they want to do, and it's like, nope, that wouldn't fit in the normal game, and then it bothers me. Which, I'm sorry, I know that's the whole point of a mod, so I choose not to engage with that kind of content. And if you want to, go ahead. I think I like it more in mods of just like, hey, this is an entirely separate thing, not associated with the base game, and it's like, okay, feel free to do whatever you want. Actually, it bothers me most when people, and I'm not going to try to discourage this because it's actually really good, but when people try to write in the style of something else, like fan-made content, like a scenario with like you're making a mod for a game that adds a new ending or a new. Oh, he did not like that, or yeah, I don't know. But it's like a fan game or like a video or something. And it's like a hypothetical, like what would happen in this situation, and they try to like write scenarios that would happen in the game or the media based on their like hypothetical. It just bothers me. I don't know. I'm like picky. It's like, oh, would the original author really have done that? Probably not. And then it bothers me. Sorry. If you're a writer, that's a good thing to do. That's good practice. Go and do that. But I won't read it. Alright. So with like a mod, like a Rain World mod, it's like, does this mod perfectly fit the vision of the base game? And the answer is no. Always. And so I'm not interested. Sorry. I mean, now with Downpour, actually Downpour has the exact same problems that I've just mentioned. I know that it is official content, but it was initially a mod, and because of that, a lot of things don't perfectly fit up. I forgot to eat dinner on. Yeah, a lot of mistakes. You want to throw boost here? The sad thing is that I think my favorite part of Rain World is that initial bottom of the food chain experience, you know, the survivor playthrough. And that's been done. And so for mods, what is there to do? Well, a lot of time the answer to that is to make some interesting gimmick or interesting gameplay. You know, every character needs to be unique. Like, let's create a unique slug cat that has some crazy ability, or some environment with an interesting backstory, or, you know, some expansion to what we think would be in the base game or the DLC. And sorry, I totally forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, like people make mods and they're like, I need to make them unique by giving them like crazy abilities and, you know, unique features, but it's like, I'm not a huge fan of those all the time because it doesn't give you that. I mean, nothing could give you that survivor experience. I'm like, that's unrealistic, obviously, but often I feel like the power scaling is a bit unbalanced. You know, they tend to create overpowered characters, and if you give them too overpowered characters, then you need to give them sort of downside, and then that's like not really fun to deal with. I know that there's a lot of mods nowadays that are like custom regions. I'm sure that those are more focused on that feeling of like exploration, less about like some overpowered character or something like crazy unique. Just like, here's a nice environment for you to explore. And I haven't played any of those, so I can't say anything about it. I'm sure they're great. How's it going? This is a bad run. I'm like 10 seconds behind. Actually, maybe like 15. I can get to the Psycho before 5 minutes. So, yeah, about 15 seconds behind. Kind of rough. I replayed Survivor so much. Some of my most enjoyable experiences with the game were doing science experiments as Survivor. Like, I wonder what happens if I do this, or I wonder what happens if I take this path through the game, or if I, you know, like trying out different paths, different items. I brought a lot of stuff into the Void Z to see if it would do anything. Good job. Nice jump there. And for me, like the replay value in the game is the movement. That's why I'm still playing this game and speedrunning it. And for like movement, combat kind of like gets in the way. Like I always complain about creatures. Maybe it's a bit. Oh, I was holding another item, so I couldn't eat the centipede. If you watch these streams a lot, you're probably tired of me yapping about like creature RNG. But yeah, any creature that you encounter in a speedrun is gonna slow you down. So they're always like frustrating to deal with. You like the ideal scenario is that you never encounter any creatures at all, and you just kind of get to move through the game at your own pace, based on your own skill, instead of it being determined by like which creatures you run into or not. Whoa. The frame perfect version is so much faster, it's like surprising when you get it. Yeah, unfortunately, speedrunning just does not really... You're not really supposed to speedrun this game. I've said this 1,000 times. The game rewards patience a lot. A lot of situations, the best thing to do is to just wait. Is there a vulture that is trying to hunt you down? Is there a red lizard wandering around? Is there... any interaction with the creatures, you can probably just wait it out. You know, are there scavengers? If scavengers approach you threateningly, you can lay down, drop your items, and they will probably leave you alone. But you have to sit there for a while and not move at all. If you're doing a speedrun, obviously what you're going to want to do is just run past them as fast as possible, and they're probably not going to like that, just kill you. And so, you know, it makes it more difficult. And so by saying like, oh, I wish there were no creatures at all for the speedrun. Oops, that was a dumb idea. By like, what, if you don't want creatures in the run, it's like, that's like the whole game, you know. The whole point of Rain World is the ecosystem, the creatures and stuff. So it's a bit unfortunate. Why can't the scavengers realize we're more important than them? Right, that does also make it easier for them to kill you. It depends on the scavenger. Yeah, I like scavengers. I think scavengers are a very interesting creature. They're one of the most fascinating creature in any game, really. And when you're playing normally, you befriend them and you get to observe their behavior and their interactions with each other and other creatures, as well as like trying to figure out their behavior, like which, like what their like body language means, like when they're being aggressive when they want an item, like if they're curious and they're like, hey, can you give the item to me? I want it. What do you mean it doesn't actually hurt you? I feel like most deaths as Gourmand are when you're trying to run away from a creature after you become exhausted. I think that's most of my deaths as Gourmand. Just like running out of stamina at the worst time and suddenly you just can't deal with a creature anymore. Someone said exhaustion should have levels. That might have been me. I mean, that's not a crazy idea, but yeah, as long as like instead of like going from perfectly fine to completely exhausted and you can't do anything, it should be like you gradually become more and more tired, and it's like, oh, I'm becoming tired right now. I should like slow down a little bit. Instead of like, oops, you accidentally jumped one more time than you should have. Penalty, death. This is a speed run. Yes. I mean, not anymore. I actually got boosted from the physics collision. Same with that. This is the task meta, by the way. If there's a task of the game, you'd want to do that all the time. How to get in those situations where the creature, like physics, launches you forward. This wall sucks. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm getting worse at that as this goes on. Excuse me. Yeah, the stamina needs to be there just because of the way the mechanics work. Like, if you throw a spear, it does 3 times damage. If you never got tired, you would just have 3 times damage for free. But also, why does Gourmand deal 3 times damage on spear throw? Isn't that kind of a strange ability? Why are they so strong all of a sudden? I forgot. I've honestly... I don't know if I can keep doing runs because an entire run would take like over 40 minutes and by then I'd want to end the stream. Like, I don't even think the spear throw fits with Gourmand. I think they already have plenty of ways to deal a lot of damage if they really need to. And it'd actually be significantly stronger if you could just throw regular spears without becoming tired. Because, like, it is nice to be able to one-shot things, but if you can't one-shot something, if you're fighting a vulture and you stab them, suddenly you're, like, very vulnerable. And you have, like, several seconds where you can't really move that much. Why can't you pull spears out of walls? That's a great question. What do I do? I have a bit of time left in the stream. I don't want to do another run. Expedition? Sure. I don't even have that enabled. If we're talking about Gourmand, maybe I should play them. I'll try to like figure out how to get them to work. Farmers, I believe. No, industrial. No, drainage system. No, Piper. This is farmers. Oh, this is an annoying spot to be in. Oh, actually, the karma requirements is low, so that's not a problem at all. Let's go to outskirts. Actually, should I be in farmers? Subterranean echo. Although if I got the subterranean echo, would I be able to come back? I would really rather not go through Sky Islands. Although I guess it wouldn't be too bad. You know, let's go that way. We can have fun with the Ranger. Yeah, I don't like perks. They really homogenize the characters. Some of the perks are nice quality of life, like a Karma Flower or what is it? Passaging. But some of them are like crazy, like the double jump or the high agility or stuff like that. Like if you have all the good perks, every character becomes the same. You know, every character gets a double jump and they get that like high speed and like why play Rivulets when you could oops. Was that even a strong spear throw? I don't think so. Yeah, you can take that. Sub Echo last. I'm not finishing this expedition. 300 points is a lot. I guess so, sure. Yeah, you only need like one perk for the expedition. Everything, all the rest of them are possible. Like just for Rivulet. I tried for a very long time to find some way to do it. Joke rifle. The joke rifle isn't even that good. Like it's kind of bad actually. If you want to use it for combat, it's really good for movement. But that's all really actually. It's probably just the best for movement. I should have turned on in-game music. Gonna need to make up for when I accidentally kill a bunch of scavengers. You guys have fun dealing with that. Wait, I already got food. Like, wow, I can one-shot a lizard. That's so strong. But if I didn't get exhausted and I had normal spear damage, It would be just as easy to kill them. It just wouldn't be instant. It would just take a few seconds. No. Cowards. Sometimes Gourmand is pretty powerful. I will say that. There's situations. But I think most of the time it's whenever you're only fighting a single creature. If there's like 2 creatures at the same time, good luck. You can only fight one of them. So you're tired, and then like how do you deal with the second one? No, I wonder, do pull hops make you exhausted? If I could do a single pull hop. It looks like they don't. Like I would have gotten tired. I should probably shelter before I get locked in farm raise. And by the way, I complain about Gourmand after trying very hard to make them a good character. Like it's not like I'm like, oh, this character sucks. It's like I've tried to optimize them. I've tried to find techniques to make them better. Goodbye then. By the way, if you crouch, you recover stamina much faster. I guess you also have to like not be being attacked by a green lizard. Oh, nice timing. Gorm Gaming. Oh yeah, I need to pin stuff. Yeah, I think I got a run to Shaded, but I died to a Spitter Spider because I did not have a spear. That's probably a good idea to just always have a spear for Shaded. Or else the Spitter Spiders are kind of just guaranteed to kill you. But let's go over here. This is a fun area. I hate doing this because I always miss. I know it's a skill issue, but it's still annoying. Okay. And I'm surprised when it does a lot of damage. No, I'm not going to change the title for like 20 minutes of this gameplay. And then his entire green lizard isn't even enough food. I should pin them. Isn't it annoying? You can't slide off of slopes. You can slide up slopes. Nope, not really. Like that doesn't work. I think if you do an extended slide, it works. Yeah, that works totally fine. Regular slides. Okay, that worked. It's like weird. It's inconsistent. Was that another green lizard? Or an egg bug? See? And I'm tired. I jumped too much. Nice dodge. I want to look at that frame by frame. I was like 3 frames too late on the spear throw. Good job. I get to fight these guys again. Yippee. Also, that's actually kind of surprising. A dropper can still instantly kill you. Because Gourmand has protection against instant death from lizards. Lizards can't instantly kill you, but I guess drop bugs can. Also, that slide move, people are like, wow, the slide is so strong, but it's like the same as like if you just had spears, you know. Yeah, red always kills you, but that's kind of a given. Why am I tired? I waited so long. I forgot how irritating they can be. It's a different playstyle. It's more patient. It's more like you do an action, you wait. You do an action, you wait. You know. It's not like you like. Oh, right, yeah. I guess if that doesn't bother you, and that's a fine character, but yeah, a lot of the time that can be annoying. Especially if you're used to a lot of actions. If you're a speedrunner, you're constantly doing stuff like doing world pounces and slides and like everything. You can't even do slides in many places because they go so far that your environment is like too small for them. That was interesting. Already got enough food. Spear? Thank you. Ooh, Spearmaster? I don't know if I would Spearmaster or Gourmand. Which one do I like playing more? You're probably Spearmaster. But it's not great. it's not much better. Because for Spearmaster you're dealing with more difficult spawns at the same time. At least Gourmand has like slightly more reasonable spawns. Okay, That was actually just nonsense. Was I exhausted at that point? No, it just didn't work. It just straight up did not work. The conspiracy theory. Get some more evidence. Okay, well I guess I don't need to shelter then. Yeah, that was like a killed the green lizard speedrun. No rocks anywhere. They're gonna try to run away. Can I even catch up to them? Nope. Fortunate. I do really appreciate Hunter for being like a very strong character that doesn't feel like they have some sort of like crazy ability. Like they're just a normal Slick App, just a little bit better than normal, you know? I think that's a nice way to balance it. That Survivor is the base to build a character out of, and not Hunter. It's not like you're like, oh, Hunter, you know, let's take Hunter and then give them an ability. No, let's take Survivor and give them an ability. It happens. Like Artificer is like Hunter with extra stuff added on, you know. So relatable. Hope you're okay. Yeah, they have the same stats. But I actually think Spearmaster ended up being weaker. But that's just me. Hunter Sorbicent? Yeah. This is definitely Hunter. What do you mean? I'm hunting these lizards, right? I was hoping I'd get like Hunter passive progress. I did some Hunter attempts earlier and didn't make it that far. Very difficult. Yeah, I mean, we don't know when the Watcher's gonna release. It might take another year. Wow, this is just completely empty area. I drop food. Oh, congrats. Damn. That's all it took. Where do I even go at this point? I'm kind of like farming karma, kind of going for the creature points. I guess I should go. I totally forgot about pinning creatures again. I guess I'll head back for that dropper if they don't get eaten. These guys are all dead, aren't they? I mean, I pinned creatures before, I just didn't shelter. Yeah, let me pin that guy. It's kind of weird seeing a red lizard just be chill. Like, usually they're always like hunting something. Let's not die to a lizard this time. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter the difficulty of the challenge. I'm not gonna complete this expedition. Ugh. The only thing you can one-shot. Oh, that's a close stand. Is this a horrible place to go? Probably. Okay, now it is. I don't know if I'm allowed to blame Gourmand or not. I think I'm just playing bad. See, like, for stabbing the pole plants, the like, I was vulnerable to a king vulture that was off screen. That's how bad the exhaustion is. That I couldn't even run away from a vulture that just like showed up. Kill every scavenger, but I already befriended them. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I can make the downpour slug guys feel more natural. I think just don't make them overpowered. Just like tone them back a little bit. Like even Rivulet, I like Rivulet a lot. Oh, Spear. I really like Rivulet, but I think that they move too fast. There's actually a video that's quite good that talks about that, but yeah, Rivulet just like kind of trivializes the entire game with how quickly you can move. I mean, Saint, I feel like Saint is great. Like, yeah, your movement is great, but you can't really fight anything. I really like Saint. I think Saint is already in a great spot. For Gourmand, I think focus on a handful of abilities as the main focus. It's like they can craft things and create random items and use their weight to like crush things, and you have like a food quest going on, and just all of that all at once. And your spears are stronger, and you have stamina to worry about. Just like focus on something, on one thing in particular. Eating should recover stamina? I mean, that's kind of situational. If you kill a creature and eat it immediately, I guess that would be helpful. Or maybe give you a buff. Well, yeah, that's even more mechanic, you know? Yeah, Rivet should be fast, but they shouldn't be able to jump like 3 times as high as every other character with just a backflip. Maybe take Survivor's stats and then like double them at most. Even that is like, that's kind of extreme. Maybe that's actually what they already are, but like their base movement speed is fine, but if you do a slide pounce or a backflip or a wall pounce, they just like give you such a crazy boost of speed. Like that should be more balanced. But I'm bad. See, this is a bad situation to be in. Climbing poles actually sucks as Gourmand. It's like the most annoying thing about the character. Not only do you climb much slower by default, but you can't fast pole climb. So it's like twice as slow. I mean, obviously, like fast pole climbing is like a specific mechanic, so they probably didn't like take that into account. But I mean, let's say, from like a game design perspective or like a programming perspective, if you have a character that like when you jump, it sets your vertical speed to some value. If you double that value, you go more than twice as high. So maybe that's what happens. You need to like have it control your jump heights and not your jump speed. I almost pressed that, dude. I don't want to hurt you. I mean, the single-handed bomb is not really a huge problem. It's like very specific. Like if you know how to craft it, and it takes a very long time if you want to craft more than a single one. Oh, sorry, Noodle. Do you want to join them? Actually, yeah. Crafting is like excessive. Maybe the meal system at most, you know. Crafting is kind of strange, and it doesn't make sense at all. eight times the jump height? That is ridiculous. And the slide doesn't make any sense at all. Like, why is their slide crazy? And it's actually really limiting. Like, you can go really fast in some situations, but most of the time it's like the environment does not give you enough space to do a slide at all. So you can actually like you can't move as much. I think the roll is fine. Like rolling makes sense. Maybe you shouldn't do damage. Actually, I'd probably prefer if it didn't do damage. Same with the slide. It means that you end up bumping into enemies that you want to like run past. Because like sliding underneath a lizard, it's a good way to get past it, but you can't actually do it as Gourmand because you bump into them. Want Survivor 2.0? Yeah, we do. But you know that's just the difference in what Downpour is. You know, For some people, it's like they want Downpour to be more Rain World, and for some people, it's like, oh, we just want to play the game more. It's like there's really like more characters where you can have fun, like moving around or fighting creatures and stuff. Like some people like that for Downpour. Some people are like, I just want to experience Rain World again for the first time, you know. And you know, those people aren't really gonna get that. Okay, I knew I was dead. There's nothing to do there. Yeah, I'm hoping the Watcher is a little bit closer to that. I'm kind of on the side of like, I really like Downpour. Obviously, I've been playing it for like over a year consistently, every week. It's basically my whole life. So like for the purposes of like speedrunning, the variety is great. You have like a ton of different speedruns to do. A ton of characters to play, each that are very different. That's nice, you know. Oh. Yeah, there's maybe a little bit too much variety. I should have pinned the Igbo. It really is so much better to eat meals like that compared to hunting creatures as Gourmand. The weird thing about the crafting is that it's kind of just all over the place. It kind of just feels like it's random. Like how did they really come up with the crafting table? There's some things that are like intuitive, where it's like, oh, these like two fruit combine together and make another fruit. That's like slightly different. But sometimes it's like, how does this create a living creature? That doesn't make any sense at all. Sure gained a few pounds. No, it's just a cancer. See, now I actually want the creatures, and I'm not finding any. Let's go to industrial. Can you do this while tired? Can Gourmand do it? Yes. I think a scavenger focused Slugcat would be nice. Because literally every Slugcat has either neutral or negative reputation with scavengers. And not a single one of them is like positive at the start. So even something very simple, like you were friends with the scavengers and they taught you how to craft explosive spears or grenades. That's maybe a more reasonable approach to Artificer. Although, of course, that's like the opposite of the scavenger thing, but that'd be fun, right? 25 rep. Well, Monk is like friendly with literally everything. Like scavengers aren't unique, but that is nice. I mean, we've already come up with the story, right? A Slug Pup that was picked up by Hunter, but since Hunter went down to the depths to ascend, they had to leave him behind in the filtration system, and that's where the scavengers found the Slug Pup. And since Hunter made friends with the scavengers, because they're going for all the passages, they're on a square run. You know, the scavengers take care of the Slug Pup, and they learn some things. And they also learn some things from Hunter, so they're like quite strong, straight right, like independent. So maybe that doesn't mean that you're like friends with the scavengers, like they're like neutral to you, like they never attack you, but they don't follow you around or help you at all. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they would help you out. Imagine Hunter is fighting scavengers. Yeah, I guess so. Or maybe there's just no association. The scavengers have just decided to be nice to the Slug Pup. Why is there nothing? Where is anything? Usually industrial is awful. Even for Gourmand. White lizards? That's so many white lizards. It'd be weird that the slide does damage even if you don't build up speed. That was so fast. Yeah, Gourmand has a very fast slide. And so when you do a movement tech called extended slide, it's even faster. So you can just you can do this. Yeah, it's pretty fun. But there's only like 10 places in the whole game where you can do this. And if you become tired all of a sudden, then yeah, it doesn't work. Bad progression. I think I'll go to a shelter and end the stream. It has been over 3 hours. See, we can do this. That wasn't very good. I got a better jump from that. Hey, dude. I mean, it's a problem with the longer speedruns that if I were still running Hunter and I started to run right now, that run might go on for another like 30 minutes, past when I'm supposed to end the stream. Are you gonna move? Are you gonna do anything? Not the red lizard too. Alright, here we go. Maybe I'll continue this expedition if I'm in this kind of situation again. Yeah, we're picky. I mean, Rain World, base game Rain World as Survivor was such a unique experience. It's kind of hard to like look at Downpour and be like, and like see that it compares, you know. Yeah, I don't think anything can really match up to that initial experience of Rain World as Survivor. So I think it kind of felt like the only option was to just like make it fun in other ways, like make the movement interesting and you know combat and stuff. The wet, yeah, yeah. There's always creatures in that room. You're saying speedruns. There's like there's a ton of creatures up on that little ledge above the red lizard area. Anyway, I think I'll do more speedrunning tomorrow. Yeah. But probably Artificer. Yeah, I'll probably head back to Artificer and see if I can make any progress at all. But I think I actually want to practice the movement a lot more because I was experimenting with that like throw boosting stuff. Because usually I never used throw boosting before as Artificer because you'd be holding a mask and a scavenger body. But if I skip the mask, maybe that'll work out. Who knows? But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. See ya.